boys and girls. My name is Miss Candace from Boone County. I'm the staff educator for the University of Arkansas Division of Agriculture Systems. And I'm here today with Tasty Tim, and we're going to talk about Discover MyPlate, and we're going to look at all of the different parts that go into Discover MyPlate, and we're going to learn a little more about them. And at the end of the day, she's got a story for us and game time. So let's welcome Tasty Tim.
Good morning, boys and girls. I know it's been a long time that I've got to be with you this year, and it's been really hard on me not to be with you. This has been a hard year for Tasty to absolutely not be out there seeing you guys and your beautiful faces every day. But some of the things I hope you've made some wise decisions about are the fuels that you put in your body. You say, fuel? Am I a car? No, you're not a car. But if you don't get good fuel in your body from MyPlate, you might not be healthy. So let's talk about that, and we're going to focus on that a little bit this morning. The last time I was with you guys, we talked about all of my friends. Do you guys remember all my friends? These are my friends from MyPlate. This is Nate and Kate, and Dean Protein, and Farrah Fruit, and Jane Grain, and Reggie Veggie. They're all very loud. And Mary Dairy, she loves to show you her beautiful pearly white teeth and show you how she makes her bones so strong with great milk products. She's very good at that. Now, when we talk about MyPlate today, I want you guys to remember this poster we sent out to your teacher for our first one for her to have in her classroom. And so you probably recognize that. Or she may have given it to our cafeteria staff, and you may see one in there. But when we eat from MyPlate, we want to make sure that we get all of the good things. So I'm going to stand up in just a minute, and Miss Candace is going to roll up here, and we're going to look at the cards that we have in front of us and check out the colors. First of all, let's start with the fruit. Fruit is red, and Farrah says, oh, boys and girls, it's very important to eat your fruits because they give you good sweet fuel. And so we love bananas and we love grapes. But did you know fruits and vegetables and all foods and fuels that we've taken to our body come fresh, frozen, or canned? And they're all just as good for you. And so you need to look at that and think about that. Did you know that a raisin is actually a grape? Yes, boys and girls, that's how it starts out. And did you know that apple juice is also considered a fruit? You want to make sure on the label that it says 100% fruit juice when you buy that. Now let's look at vegetables. Oh, vegetables. There's so many vegetables that Tasty couldn't put all of them on all the sheets. So let's start with lettuce. Did you know that lettuce is actually the leaves of the plant? We get to eat the leaves. Did you know that cucumbers are the viney parts of the plant, and we get to eat those and all the seeds? And then we also love corn. It comes on big stalks. But the most curious one, well, the last two, are carrots. Did you know that when you eat a carrot, you actually eat the roots, boys and girls? And broccoli is almost like having a little mini tree in every bite. They're so good. Our next part of our food group is the grain group. We have bagels that look like big donuts, but they're not. They're bagels, and they're not as sweet. And you can use those with lots of good things and dairy products like cream cheese. We have noodles. And noodles come in whole grains and in regular color. Try those whole grains sometime. Just try those. In rice, we have white rice and we have brown rice. So you want to try to get a whole grain rice. And then my favorite, you guys know my favorite whole grain is popcorn. Did you know you were eating a good healthy snack when you had popcorn? Well, you are, and popcorn is very good for you. The blue part of the plate is called the dairy part, from Mary Dairy. Remember her beautiful pearly teeth that she has? She says that milk is very good for you, and you probably read that in some of your little books. She says that cheese is good for your body and helps to fuel it up, and yogurt is a good fuel. All of these things help to fuel up. And the last one, but not the least one, is from Dean Protein. And the protein means that it helps to develop your muscles, and we're going to talk about Dean in a minute, and I'm going to read you his book. We have eggs, and we have peanuts. I did have them on there. Chicken, ham, and steak. All of those are meats and proteins that are good for you and help you to fuel up a healthy body. So all of these are good and healthy for the fuel in your body, boys and girls. This is your MyPlate. See that? That's your size MyPlate. And that's about how many servings that you need for your MyPlate. This is for an adult. This is a little bit bigger in their portion sizes. Oh, okay. So we are going to talk about Nate and Kate first. And you know, one of the things that Tasty really loves about our good program here with Discover MyPlate from the USDA and from the University of Arkansas Systems Division of Agriculture is the fact that it helps you with your familiar walls in your classroom. I know that by this time of year and because of all of the health problems, we have not been able to be in your classroom as much as we would love to have this year. But let's look at the words from your familiar wall. I, she, he, we, has, have. I'm sure you've mastered all of those words already. But in your book that I brought to your classrooms back in January, you have this little book in your familiar box. So every day you get a chance to read the words, and you've probably learned a whole lot about MyPlate already. But let's see about the adventures of Nate and Kate today. Read this with me, boys and girls. I have apples. Nate has peas. He has ham. Kate has bread. She has milk. She's chosen wisely. And do you know what? She's made a MyPlate. Look at that, boys and girls. She has fruit. She has an apple on there. She has peas and vegetables. She has protein. She has grain. She has dairy. All of those are all of the 5 food groups. And she's made it. And she says, we have lunch. Doesn't that look a nice picnic lunch? It's so pretty and warm outside nowadays. You guys can make one of those for yourself. And then look, they went outside and exercised. You know, it's very important. Not only do we fuel our bodies up, but we also take time to exercise every day. And that's what they're doing. So they went outside and exercised. Do you get a chance to go have your PE classes or go outside after lunch? I hope you do. And I hope you're all taking advantage of this beautiful weather and getting out and riding your bicycles. Inside of the book that we gave you, boys and girls, if you will look on page 13, it has a MyPlate. And if your teacher has time for you to be able to do this, you can color your MyPlate and make sure you put the right colors on it. Remember, dairy is, what was that, Miss Candace? What color is dairy? It's blue. Vegetables, Miss Candace?
Green.
Fruit?
Red.
Protein?
Purple.
Grains?
Orange.
That's right, boys and girls. Look at that. And you know what you're getting in your bag this time from your teacher? You're getting one of these, so when you make your plate at home, guess what? You get to eat it with your own fork. Has a guy eating strawberries, I think, up there on it, eating some fruit. But this is our big problem today. Jane is in the cafeteria and she's having to make her lunch, having to design her lunch. You all get a chance to pick what you want to put on there. The directions say, it's time for lunch. Help Kate pick one food from each food group. Color her lunch choices. And did you color the vegetables, the greens, the grains, the dairy, and the protein foods? I hope you did. And then the last thing is back here. You get to match all of those things up that we have learned today and where they go on the plate. But you know, besides coloring, Tasty wanted you all to have a fun activity. So we have this. Miss Candace and I have loved putting this together, haven't we, Miss Candace? So let's see what we've got. We have, peanut butter. Boys and girls, do you remember where the peanuts went? What does that look like, Miss Candace?
Is it a protein?
It's a protein. Does that look like your cafeteria plate, boys and girls? So you just stick it right on there. Let's go ahead and do these. What about chicken? Where does chicken go? It goes on the protein. Oh, I see a banana. Where did I tell you the banana went? On the fruit. What about a carrot? Remember, you're eating the roots. That's a vegetable, isn't it? It goes on the green. Miss Candace, I need help with a whole grain muffin. Where does that go?
It goes in the orange section, which is the grain.
That's right. Thank you, Miss Candace. Do we have something, a dairy? We do. We have a milk. I'm going to let you boys and girls work by yourselves and add more to it. But on the back, it gives you lots more things that you can do to make your nice, healthy plate. And this is your cafeteria plate. And also to fuel up your body. You know, when you're at school, sometimes you don't get a really good breakfast in the morning because you rush in from school. So boys and girls, it's very important to take time to eat a good school lunch. And your cafeteria people really work hard in your school system to help you get good, healthy meals to fuel your body and your brain. So please take time to eat lunch before you go out and play. So do that first before you have your desserts outside. I have one more little story in here I wanted to talk to you all about before we get into our main story.
Do you guys remember this guy? He named it Dean Protein. Dean Protein says, boys and girls, it's very important for you to pump up your muscles and your legs and make sure that you're eating lots of good proteins that are nice and lean, low in fat. Make sure you're getting good proteins. Well, let's look at Dean. Do you guys remember Dean last time I introduced you? He was a funny looking guy. He has ham for a hat, a boiled egg for his pom-pom, beans for his hair. He's made out of a chicken leg. And look at that. He eats peanuts. All of those are great sources. Did you guys know that nuts are an excellent source? And beans can either be vegetables or proteins. Let's see what he has to say. And your words for your word wall are I see. Let's read it together, boys and girls. Everybody read with me. I see beans. I see chicken. I guess I better talk like Dean. I see nuts. Look at those peanuts. I see fish. I see eggs. I see ham. I see meat.
Look at all the proteins that Dean has seen. He's seen ham and tuna and nuts and chicken and beans and eggs and a hamburger patty. He says, I see protein foods. Nice, lean protein foods to fuel up your body. What else do we have, Miss Candace?
Tasty Cam, I think you have a story for us today.
I do have a little story for you guys. I do. And listen, I want you guys to save your energy to the very end because we're going to do a little dancing today. I'm getting excited about it. This is called Jack and the Hungry Giant. One morning, Jack's mother sent him off to market. And she said, this is the last cow that we have. I need for you to make some wise decisions, Jack. And I need for you to make sure that you get good money for our cow because that's all we have. And so Jack went off to market, and while he was there, he met a man, and the man convinced him to trade his cow for magic beans, 3 magic beans. Jack was so happy when he got home. He gave those to his mother, but she was not happy at all. She said, Jack, we needed that. We needed those things too. I needed a good trade for the cow so we could have some money. She was not happy. Why did you trade our lovely cow for these silly beans? And she threw them into the flower pot outside their window. Jack had to go to bed early and hungry too. I can't. There we go. When Jack woke up the next morning, he heard a rustling and a rustling, rustling. It was something strange. Where is it coming from? He said. A huge beanstalk was growing, and growing up into the sky. Jack went out the window and he started to climb, and he went higher and higher and higher. Oh my goodness, boys and girls. When he got to the top, he saw a giant house. Actually, a huge giant house, looked like a castle. Jack came to a big house and he said, "You think anybody's home?" So he knocked on the door. No one came. And Jack was so little compared to the big door, he went underneath it. And when he went underneath, he saw something very scary. Meow! A cat. That was a bad idea, he thought. That cat is going to eat me. So he ran and he hid inside of a boot, a big boot. And boy, did that boot stink. In fact, it was P.U., said Jack. But he had to hide from the cat. Jack squinched down as far as he could inside that stinky old boot, and then he heard the door open. Slam. A giant picked up the boot and stared at Jack and said, "I'm hungry." What do you think Jack thought? Do you think he was going to be eaten? That's what Jack thought. The giant had a huge knife, and with a daring leap, Jack tried to escape, but he caught him with his shoestring. He said, "Be careful there, tiny friend. Are you hungry too? Let's have a healthy meal. I'm Waldorf. And what's your name?" Mama. He said, "No, mama. My name is Jack." He said, "Jack? Well, Jack, are you hungry?" "I'm hungry." That make you feel better, boys and girls? It's making me feel better. "Tell me, Jack, what's your favorite vegetable? Is it squash, peas, turnip?" Jack said, "I like corn, but I can't eat this much corn." Look at all of them. Potatoes. He had all of them to pick from. Remember a minute ago? I told you there were lots and lots of vegetables. We couldn't pick them all. And then the giant said, "Well, what kind of fruits do you like?" And Jack said, "Well, I like all kinds of fruits." All kinds of fruits. And then Jack made the salad. He put things in there like pears and apples and oranges. Some of those raisins are showing up again. We found out today that raisins are just grapes dried. Cherries and peaches and watermelon. He said, gee, thank you for making the fruit salad, Jack." Jack says, "Anytime. You're welcome, Waldorf." We have many grains to choose from for our breads tonight. What do you think? We have pasta-shaped ones. We have ones that go are waffles. We have couscous. We have popcorn. What do you think? Pumpernickel bagels. And all the time, he was having to fend off that cat because it was still after him, boys and girls. Then he said, let's choose a protein food, such as nuts, seeds, beans, seafood, meats, or poultry. And Jack said, poultry means the birds eat, such as chicken and turkey. Think that cat might go for a little chicken leg and leave him alone? That was a big chicken. I'll have some dairy foods too. We'll have some dairy foods too. And so Waldorf chopped and poured and stirred. He made a nice salad and he put things in to make a porridge and a soup. And look at that, he made some bread. And about that time, his wife Sophia came home. It was time to eat. She says, well, hello there. He says, hello, darling, grab a plate. And so he gave her a plate and they all sat down with Jack and they had a good meal. So it's healthy to fill half of your plate with fruits and vegetables? Yes, said the giant. You want to make sure that you have half fruits and vegetables right after right, and the other half should be grains and protein foods because you want to have great fibers for your body. Help yourself to servings of dairy too, said Sophia. That sounds really good to me, said Jack. After dinner, Sophia said, I'm sorry, not Sophia. The giant said, let's get some exercise because boys and girls, we've talked about fueling up your body and exercising. Let's get some exercise. And later we could toss boulders or we could play in the swamp tag. I know an excellent exercise, sound Jack. Do you think he wants to play in the swamp or he wants to toss boulders? He said, I'm going to climb. It takes a lot of energy to climb. He says, bye guys, and thanks for the great grub, and I will see you soon. So off he went. Look at that. Waldorf's tips for a healthy, happy eating. What is that? That's MyPlate. Fill half of your plate with fruits and vegetables. Eat a rainbow of vegetables, green, yellow, orange, red, and purple. Make half of your grains whole grains. Eat calcium-rich dairy foods every day and eat a variety of protein foods. Dry beans and peas can also count for vegetables as well as proteins. Remember I talked about sometimes foods? These are just sometimes foods. You don't want to eat them every day, but you can have them on occasion. Thank you, boys and girls, for letting me read to you today. The only thing that Tasty has left for us to do today is we're going to do something we're going to actually stand up for. So teachers, I made copies of all of my characters up here like this. And I am going to play a game with the kids, and I'm going to show you how to do this so you can do this in your classroom. But you can make them smaller, and you just disperse these out to the kids, give them out to them, and then you're going to let them group up. So when all the dairy people get together, they'll say, MyPlate. When all the protein kids get together, they'll say, MyPlate. And you'll go around until you have 5 groups that have MyPlate on them. And then from that, we will actually get started. So if you want to take just for a minute, if you want to take a minute to pass these out, then we'll get started with our song. Okay.
Here's a little song about
Everybody stand up.
food groups. Fruits, veggies, protein foods, grains, and dairy. The 5 food groups are
Sway a little bit. Move your body.
Fruits, veggies, protein foods, grains, dairy.
The 5 food groups.
Are as cool as can be. So eat 5 food groups and sing with me. Give a hoot
Hoot, hoot, hoot.
if you like fruits. Stomp your feet and eat veggies. Sing my tune.
Sing a tune.
For protein foods, fly like a plane with some grains.
And now it's dairy, and you got all 5. So come on, everybody, and reach for the sky.
The 5 food groups are what we need. Fruits, veggies,
Move those
protein
arms.
foods, grains, dairy. protein food. Bread is a grade and yogurt is dairy.
That's right, boys and girls, it is.
5.
5.
Give a hoot.
Hoot, hoot, hoot.
You like fruit. Stomp your feet and eat veggies. Sing my tune.
Sing a tune.
Protein foods.
Protein foods.
Fly like a plane with some grains.
And now add dairy and you got all 5. So come on everybody and reach for the sky.
Reach for the sky.
Fruits are what we need. Fruits, veggies, protein foods, grains, dairy. The 5 food groups are as cool as can be.
So thank you everybody for singing with me.
Bye, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. I will see you next time, and next time we're going to get my plates. Bye, guys.